is up though. But I still fucks with the world. I give it
Who's
up
that
to
little
band,
man? What are you talking about?
the band Kai fan. That's like Junior. You know what I mean? That's like the new generation kind of. That's like Rusty's Army band Kai fan. I like them a
Oh,
lot.
well,
They better
you're
than
Yeah.
not in.
second generation Wu.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
They,
I gotta
I
tap
don't
in
really
with them.
listen to them, but all right, let's go.
Yeah, peace. Welcome to Spears and Mike's Hip Hop Culture, Knowledge, the Streets. Today we're gonna talk about the 28th anniversary of Wu-Tang Forever. Um, yeah, man, 28 years. That went by really fast, real fast. You know what I'm saying? Normally we do the 25 or the 30, but you know what? This album's definitely worth talking about. 28 years. Um, what do y'all think?
Um, it's their best selling album, but everyone knows Enter the 36 Chambers is their best album. Um, to me, and I'm a Wu.
It's a lot shorter. It's a lot smaller though. Like it's a
Yeah,
smaller sample size.
yeah.
Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers is almost flawless to a degree. It's
yeah,
almost a. I don't think there's no skips on the album, but
there's,
No.
there's highs and lows. Like there's joints that of course stand out. But I don't think to me there's no skips on. And this
with it.
Wu-Tang Forever got a couple, maybe a couple of skips. Like me
Mm,
personally, a couple joints. I know I discussed it
mm.
with y'all earlier. Like a couple joints I don't like on here, but that's gonna come with the turf when you got,
Yeah, when you got double
27
album.
songs, double album.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to record a double album and have like a flawless masterpiece, like no skips. You know what I mean?
that's my
But
album though. That's
before
that's my
before
joint.
before because I definitely want to know what joints you guys would skip though, because I only would skip the black shampoo with you guys. Other
Black
than that,
shampoo is black shampoo. And what's the joint that I said earlier? What that I didn't like
You
too
said
much?
Deadly Melody. You don't like Deadly Melody,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
and
crazy.
like that too much.
you don't like
Why?
Dirty on as high as Wu-Tang gets. That's what you
You
Yeah,
don't.
said.
I'm
You don't
yo,
like Dirty
and
on
P,
there.
I didn't tell this to you because I was talking to Watt on the joint earlier. I'm gonna be real, like I love Dirty. Dirty's one of my favorite Wu-Tang members. Like 30 Return to the 36 Chamber is like one of my it's one of my favorite like Wu-Tang albums. But like I don't know what it was. Like I guess, I'm talking right now as an almost 45-year-old man. When I listen to Dirty, a lot of times it's like cringe, like his foul language, it sounds ignorant, like too ignorant. And I know that's his persona, like the old dirty
Mm.
bastard and all that. Like I get that, you know what I'm saying? But like listening to him, like unnecessarily curse or talk ignorantly or foolish at the start of a song and then get on a song and not say nothing when dudes is dropping darts and dumping, like I don't know, like I can't tolerate it no more. Like I feel there's a lot of joints on here where like once Dirty got on it, that shit made me not even want to hear it. Be real with you.
What about
And I
you
say
don't
that
like his solo
respectfully.
joint on there?
Which is a solo joint again,
Dog
on
shit.
here. No. Nope. Never liked it.
Oh wow. Oh
Never liked
wow.
it. Never
Oh,
like, and
Wow.
I'm serious. Like I think Return to the 36 Chambers, I'll put it right after like maybe, like
I,
I would go
So
like
you don't
solo
like that. You don't
uh
like that, but you like Return to the 36 Chambers, which is very
it's
raunchy and
yeah, but
very
like
cringe
it,
to your
I
standard.
wouldn't I wouldn't say it's raunchy and cringe. It is to a degree, but like I don't know, the flow of it was like different. Like I guess like you know what it is? It's you're getting a whole album with Old Dirty, right? So you know what to expect. You're preparing for it, so it doesn't hit you. It doesn't stick out and not mesh with the rest of the artists. Like here on Wu-Tang Forever, Brothers was really putting together like verses that were like incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy high level production with high lyrics, like good lyrics. Like, and I feel like Dirty was on there just talking a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And I don't want to disrespect Dirty, like, or fans of his, or you know what I'm saying, but like I feel like man, like honestly, it would have been a little bit better leaving them off certain joints. You know what I mean?
Indian the soul, Manhattan to the white man. My
That
grandfather
was, yeah, I
came
like that.
home
That
to
was
get.
cool.
Oh,
That was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, because you're gone too far.
right,
Extortion.
right. I was telling him that earlier. I was telling him that earlier.
First, let me say this. In my opinion, 36 Chambers is dope, but Wu-Tang Forever is like that's like the highest musically that all of them ever been.
Well, yeah, 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 yeah.
Like 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 36 Chambers, as fire as Method Man was, he said, "Hey, you get off my cloud." He said, "Who be getting down, Flim Flam, Peter Button, and Method Man?" That's insane. That's super crazy.
Yeah.
Think
But
about
those are
it.
old rhymes, though. Those are old
You
rhymes, though. Remember,
know,
Deck and them was saying those rhymes were like, they wrote a
and
lot of that stuff when they was 14,
you're
15,
older.
though.
Right, but that's just one, and that's cool. Then
Right.
the production on 36 Chambers is not touching anything that's on
Oh,
Wu-Tang.
no. Oh, but they had live instruments and all of that on Wu-Tang Forever
And
and all of that.
they brought in the Alkalites. They brought in Deck. They brought in Fourth Disciple.
Right,
Like,
right. True Master.
right. Like, I want to say, for heaven's sake, Biggs be chopping up samples and he be making beats. And he told me when he found that sample, there was nothing you could do with it. Like, it was impossible to use that sample. And then when I want to, whoever produced that, is it True Master or Fourth Disciple? Which
I
one?
think it's Fourth Disciple. I'm gonna
Right.
double check right now. I got it.
It
Who, for
is.
I got the
heaven's
list
sake?
right.
Yeah. He said the way he said you
It's
RZA
true.
produced
It's
that.
true. Oh, I thought it was
It's
true.
nah,
Because
RZA's
remember,
listed.
oh,
True
and I
True
think it's
Master's
both of
credited
them.
here,
Right,
oh,
because he
but
said, because Kappa said RZA and True collide.
oh
He
yeah,
said
okay.
it on the verse. He said RZA and True collide.
But what I'm saying is that was almost like impossible to loop that and put that together and chop it and
Right.
make it out something. Big Strike,
Right, right, right.
couldn't do it. That's just one little thing. Like there was really nothing really fucking with Wu-Tang after that. And that to me is like the pinnacle. And then with Dirty, like every like Dirty was crazy then, but like every appearance he definitely added to it. And then dog shit's crazy. Like that's a
Nah,
crazy,
it is. It is.
that's a
It
super
is.
fire solo
It
record.
is. It
Dirty
is.
mm,
Dirty's verses was they came off to me, son. We needed more Dirty. Dirty was on the run. Was he on the run then, or he was on the run during the W? But Dirty was all over the
He
place.
was on the run during the W because remember he was locked up. Remember they said free.
Yeah,
No, that was Iron Flag. I think he was on the run on the W because he's only on like one song. He's on the MC Conditioner. That's it.
right. But the only skippable song to me is Black Shampoo, and that's not even that bad.
And
It's
that's the
just
end.
yeah, and that's the end.
That's
Like
the
I
end.
don't,
yeah. I'm gonna be real. I hate that joint.
even the songs I don't even really listen to, like Projects. That's still a dope song. Um, that that solo shit in the city,
Oh, the city is crazy.
crazy.
Fire,
That's
Yeah,
fire.
crazy.
there's nothing messing with that album, yo. That album is up, yo.
Nah,
Nah,
well,
it's an incredible piece of work. It's an incredible piece
nah,
of
it is.
work.
And it, like me and you was talking, L. It's the second enhanced hip hop CD to
Yeah, let's talk about
Hell
that.
on Earth. Hell on Earth
Right,
had the first because they came. Hell on Earth came out before Wu Tang Forever, and then
right.
I remember buying the CD and putting it in the CD-ROM CD drive, and you can enter the Wu Mansion, and it was an
Hmm.
interactive CD. You can
Yeah,
unlock certain content. You get like a biography of all the members. You know,
yeah.
certain studio sessions. You could play
Hmm.
songs like
Right.
beats and all of that. And I think they were pretty. I mean, Mobb Deep was the first to do it, but I think Wu was
It was
innovative because
all.
I
It
don't
was
think.
really loud. It was a loud thing.
Yeah, right, a
You
loud
know
thing,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. Because Hell on Earth had the Keith Murray diss on there.
Right.
Hell on
Which
Earth had the
yeah,
Keith Murray
correct. Yeah,
joint.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was at the height of that
What was the
with
key
Keith
Yeah,
word?
that
Murray
they
and
On
Mobb Deep was going back and
no
forth.
Drop a Gem was pop.
was
Drop
the
a Gem was
Cause
towards pop. But the
cause
enhanced CD, you put it in
right,
and it had the Keith Murray diss on the enhanced
right.
part of the CD. But you
Right, because
only could listen
Prodigy
to
was
it,
saying Keith Murray hit him in front of the police or
yeah, in
something
front of the
like that.
police. Yeah, they had an
You know what I'm
issue
saying?
outside of a yeah.
if you think, I think like those enhanced cities were kind of like a combat, like when you had like the month of the man and all of that. Def Jam was doing the double disc or the bonus disc
The
with
bonus
those
CD,
extra
yeah, with
songs,
the samplers and
and then
all of that.
right, which was to me like I was actually those were, it drove me to want to buy a record to know I was gonna get a
Yeah,
bonus disc with like more songs or like a sneak peek into like other Def Jam artists or whatever. But it was a genius idea, whoever
yeah.
at Loud, probably Steve Rifkin, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Behind that, of course, you know what I'm saying, with the whole Loud. But I definitely bought both. I definitely put them in one of the iKey, the Brother Streets. I put it in his computer at the time, no laptops, desktop. Think you had to have Windows
right.
95 or better.
95,
You know,
right.
something there was like, some type
97,
of yeah, it might have been something like that, Windows 95,
right.
Windows 97 requirement or whatever. I didn't even own a computer at that year,
Word.
97. I didn't get my first computer till 2000 because I was going to college and my mother bought the Gateway computer from like Dell or something like
Oh, that's
that.
crazy.
The Gateway, yeah.
Yeah, my
But
uncle had one.
it was genius, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, half the hood probably didn't even have computers at the time, so you had to
Right,
really
right,
find
right.
somebody to pop that in and check the bonus features. But it's dope to, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were kids, right? When we would pop open the album, the first thing we doing is looking at the production credits, who produced what, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the lyrics was in there. I used to really appreciate that too, to really
Mm-hmm.
break down the lyrics. And then just, the shout outs were
The
always
shout
big
outs.
to me. Always
Yep.
looked at the shout outs. You remember Enter the 36 Chambers. If y'all remember, that shout out list was crazy. Peace to the
Mm-hmm.
Zulu Nation, blase blah. They naming everybody from the hood,
Mm-hmm.
like
All the
everybody.
affiliates, the Wu
Yeah,
affiliate. That's how
yeah.
you knew. That's how
Everybody.
you knew who was who. You
You
know.
became familiar with acts that didn't even come out yet. You heard about it, GP the Grain or GP Wu or
Right,
whatever,
right,
like King Just and so on and so
right,
forth.
right,
You
right.
know what I mean?
It-
So you were
on,
preparing for whatever's coming out.
right. On Forever too. Like when you open the booklet, I remember they had all 9 members. Um, and they had their AKAs on there. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Because they were the
Raleigh
ones that was
Fingers.
right, right,
Right.
right.
All the
Lex
extra names.
Diamonds,
Yeah,
Tony
Johnny
Starks, Hot
Blaze.
Nickels, Johnny Blaze.
Right, the extra
Yeah,
names.
all of them had like at least 4 or 5 AKAs that they,
Yeah,
that they went
monikers.
by. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like, I thought that was dope too. And the Triumph video was the first $1 million video.
Right. And
I remember that night they premiered it on MTV. I
it was a
remember
big
like,
deal. It was a big
yeah,
deal. It was
it
a
was
big deal.
crazy. I remember like running to the TV and I think it was Carson Daly. Was it Carson Daly? It was Carson Daly that was like,
Might
yo,
have
we got
been,
a
might have been.
Wu-Tang exclusive.
They dropped it
And
like TRL
yeah, and
style or
that
whatever.
they
Like,
had us thinking that the dude on the side of the building was ODB, but ODB was on the run, and it was really Papa Wu that we found out years later that it was Papa
mm,
Wu filling in for ODB. That's why he
word,
had like the ninja outfit on the
uh,
side of the building.
word.
You know what I mean? But that
R.I.P.
video was
R.I.P.
dope.
Freedom, aka Papa Wu.
Word. NODB.
Word, both of them brothers,
Word,
for
man. But
real.
that 19 when it came out, 97. Yeah, and like we were
1997.
saying off camera, like that album, like kind of like it was the height of them, but it was kind of like the decline in commercial success for them too, because that Rage Against the Machine tour and Summer Jam put them in a bind. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It really put them in a bind and they lost out. And then the radio stopped playing them and then they started dissing the radio. They threw some shots on Forever, but then when the Swarm came out the following year, because the Swarm, I think Wu Forever came out June 3rd, I believe, 97. And the Swarm came out July 21st, I think, 1998.
Surely. No, you
Right.
sure it wasn't?
Yeah.
Because the Swarm has 97 mentality though.
Yeah, but
You
that's an
sure it
old
wasn't
song
97?
though. That's an old
Oh,
song.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an
first
old
album.
song.
It came out.
Um,
Swarm came out in
it
'98.
came in '98. Yep, because I remember buying Sons of Man and the Swarm the same day.
Okay, so indeed, yeah, that
Yeah,
both of those were 98
yeah.
then.
So they threw
But
shots.
that was some Sons of Man's actual second album though, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah, yeah,
though
yeah, yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
though
yeah.
some thought it was like they first,
I
you know what I'm
mean,
saying? Because
but
when I was at that time, I used to think it was
that's
they
their
first.
first. That's their first official release.
With Shining Star, right? With
Yeah, yeah. The
Wyclef
last shall be
and
first. The last shall be
mhm,
first. Yeah, but they had other stuff.
like an EP type.
Yeah, yeah. They had like because they were basically like two different groups put together. I don't know if a lot of people
Kind of
knew
different
that.
than early
Yeah,
albums.
because Supreme Court was their producer from Red Hook. But then when they
Okay.
got under the
So is that from?
Wu,
So that's like a Shabazz type of connection
yeah,
there,
yeah, Shabazz and Hellraiser.
right? Because they
Because
both
cause
from Red
remember,
Hook.
because remember they had Tons of Thunder. I think was Tons of Thunder. I think was Shabazz and Killer Priest, and then they were called The Last Future before Sons of Man,
That's a
Yeah,
fire name.
and 60 Second wasn't a part of them yet.
Mm.
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I think Ambassador, which is Seventh Ambassador, which is
right.
Hellraiser's brother,
He was
was
in
a
the
part because I had the Supreme Court version of the Sons of Man album with Valley of Kings and Five Archangels and what's it called, Hotline, and Death Be the Penalty and all of that stuff on there. And
Mm.
60 Second was only on like two songs. He was only on like two songs, but Zodiac Killer and there was somebody named, I think Seventh Ambassador was the Zodiac Killer at the time. And he was like one of the recurring members of,
60 Second
The
Assassin
Last
was
Future.
killed, right?
nah.
No, he's
Who
still
was the
alive.
brother? Who was the brother that was killed in out in Arizona or something like that?
But that 12 o'clock and
That
Murdoch
was,
Heard
oh,
of
from
okay,
Brooklyn
okay,
Zoo. From Brooklyn Zoo.
okay,
From
okay.
Brooklyn Zoo. Yeah, yeah,
Part
yeah, yeah.
itself. I got confused
Yeah.
for a second.
60 Second.
Yeah.
My son had just passed away though. He was a good.
Oh,
He was,
word?
Oh, rest in peace.
and D-Law from Future Chamber passed away, and his son passed
He
away.
did?
Yeah, D-Law died April something, but they're talking about it now for the past couple of days, and his son died like a day or
That's
so
the
before.
brother that the small little brother that had the locks. Like
Yeah,
Yeah. Yo, he always used to add me on
he used to be
Instagram, then
spazzing
delete
on
me.
MySpace and
Then,
Facebook back in the day. He
yeah,
used to spaz with like,
yeah. I remember he was spazzing on Radar Van. They had him and Radar Van had a wild beef for
yeah, yeah,
years. They had
yeah.
a crazy beef. And he would
Oh, that's a
add
brother.
me,
That
then
brother was
delete
young
me.
though.
He would add me and delete me. He a little older than us, though, I think.
Were
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
still.
He was in Future Chamber with Papa Wu. He was a part of that.
I never beefed with him, but everybody around me beefed with him at the time. Clef, my son Louis the Fourth.
Yeah, he was strange. He
Wasn't
was
he
a
beefing with Judah Priest? I feel like he was beefing with
That's what I'm
every
saying.
like Wu-Tang.
yeah, he was beefing with
Like
everybody. Yeah, yeah,
I
he
yeah.
was
was,
beefing with
I was
everybody.
doing my own shit, but you know what I
I
mean?
was just waiting for him to mention you so I could jump on him. No bam.
Now I
Yeah,
thought, I don't know what. Like I
just
said, he would add me, delete me, add me, delete me. I
Word.
was like, I don't even know. Like, I'm like, yo, what's up
because
with this dude? And
he was in the
he was in
shop,
back either.
and the Shadow Clan was fucking with chamber music. That and then we did a
Figured that.
we did a diss song, but it never came out
It never
against.
came out though.
Yeah, you wasn't there. You were there.
I was on the song.
You were on the song, right? And
Yeah.
it never came out. But I don't know if they heard about it or not. But for a minute, like what's
Buddha
crazy
might have let him hear it.
what's crazy
Mhm.
is my son through the low life, Louis the Fourth, I go down there and chill with him 2-3 times a year, just seen him. He's Lou Struggs from Future Chamber. And
I
in
know
my
who I remember Louis Struggs.
I mentioned him in my verse and never met him. I was like, and now that's my son right now, Louis, yo. I know his whole family and all that, but that's just the crazy thing, how shit comes back around. I never fucking really had a problem with D-Law, but
I don't
yeah,
think
this
them dudes was nice. I think
one was I
I'm
mean
gonna just keep it real. I listened to the 10th Chamber, Visions
yeah,
of the 10th Chamber Part 2. Because I had Visions of the 10th Chamber Part 1. I bought
that,
that when
that's fair.
I what'd you say?
I said part one is better with the
Yeah, part one is fire. I bought part one when I was in the Navy. Like, I picked that up. I didn't even know it was out. I think I might have been in New Orleans or something at the time, and I was in a music store, and I went to the hip hop section, and I was like, Papa Wu, and then I looked, and then
Mm,
I like looked at the back, and I saw like,
too. I
it
was,
had meth on there, King Just, Free Murder, Chakrons, and all of them, and I'm like, okay, Buddha Monk.
yeah,
Yeah, it had the Manchus on there, and I'm like, oh, okay, this
mm,
is dope. And so I bought it. I'm Wu-Tang anything at the time. I was buying everything,
yeah.
like, so I
That's the
bought that.
chamber. And then
Yeah,
D-Law was at a time, but in the very beginning, Papa Wu like deaded that, but D-Law never really like adhered
let
to
it
it.
go.
Yeah, not at all. That's why like maybe right after the part two joint, Papa Wu was done with him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
part two was kind of like I was looking forward to like more of a United Kingdom kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like with Royal Fam, Brooklyn Zoo, the Brooklyn side of Wu-Tang, because everybody knows there's a Staten Island side, and
mm,
there's like in the beginning, besides like the West Coast and the Wu South with Cap and all of that, it
mm.
was Staten Island and it was Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
and the Brooklyn side had the United Kingdom with Royal Fam,
Yeah,
Black Rose Cartel,
the popular.
um,
If I
Population
if I
Click,
recall correctly, wasn't
MMO.
wasn't United Kingdom? I know this is probably separate, but wasn't United Kingdom a gang out in Crown Heights,
Absolutely. Yes, it
Flatbush area?
was.
I
Yes,
think
it
the dude
was.
Tip
Yes, it
Top was
was.
running that shit.
Yep.
Tip
Yep.
Top. Then he wound up
Absolutely.
becoming
Becoming
like a
Crip.
big time Crip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tip Top. I
Absolutely.
remember. Yeah,
Absolutely.
remember that. Guess no affiliation with one another though, but
They might have been. They might have been
right?
somewhat. I
Who
mean,
knows? Right?
because they
Yeah,
from that area.
yeah. It's a
They from there.
possibility.
They from a lot of
It's
them
a
is from
possibility.
Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights. A lot of them,
In Brownsville.
um, in Brownsville, right? They from once you from Brooklyn. If you from Brooklyn, you from all over Brooklyn. Like me, I'm from Queens, but I'm from a specific side of Queens. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like, oh, I'm from over here and from over here. When you from Brooklyn, you done moved around, especially if you in project housing, grew up in project housing, you move from building to building
Yeah,
and Brooklyn's a big borough. So, you might be in the east one day, then
Yeah,
you in the Ville, then you in
yeah. Um,
Flatbush, you know what I'm saying? You in Red
yeah,
Hook. Like it's so much like, they be from everywhere. You meet somebody from Brooklyn, like yo, I'm from everywhere in Brooklyn.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you got
That's how
family like me, I
dudes.
got family all over in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
All over to this day. All over.
Right.
You know what I
speaking
mean?
Cause
But
you,
keeping it Brooklyn though, let's get to this. So you really feel boot camp? There's you really feel they're better than Wu Tang, and you think there's an album touching Wu-Tang Forever in the boot camp catalog?
yeah, I think Enter the Stage like could hold its weight. You know what I mean?
against
I think
Wu-Tang
Enter the,
Forever.
I mean, it's a
How many
double
songs is
CD.
on
You
Enter the
can't
Stage?
Enter the Stage probably like 14, 15.
All
You
right,
know
so
what I
you
mean?
gotta
But
put
like
that up against Into
you
the
can't put
36
nothing
Chambers.
against you could only compare another double album to a double album. It's not
Yeah, they don't
fair.
have double
You know
albums.
what I mean? Like you got 27 joints on a double album Wu-Tang Forever and 25 of them are fucking fire. So it's
All
hard
right.
to compete with that. It's basically a flawless release. You know what I
But
mean? And it wouldn't be
what
fair. It
about
wouldn't be fair to
36
Boot Camp.
Chambers? What about
Um
36 Chambers versus Enter the Stage?
I will put Enter the Stage is not that much like I will put it neck and neck. And I'm gonna be real with you.
Mm.
Like, since you talk about like, because I know you've been mentioning like the commercial success. I think Black Moon Enter the Stage got way more burn on MTV and BET and Hot 97 than Wu-Tang's first album. I'm gonna be real with you. Aside from Cream, Cream had a tremendous amount of radio support, a tremendous amount of video plays, whatever. But like, you take Cream out the mix, like the Mystery of Chess Boxing wasn't getting the same burn as like
The video
you know
was,
what's it called, Buck 'em Down, how many MCs must get this, like those shits was getting a lot of burn. Like
but
Buckshot was coming
that's
with a
not
lot
boot
of
camp
burn.
though. That's not boot
It's
camp though. We already
yo
we already,
yo listen, you
it's
you
not.
cannot Yo, you cannot say that Black Moon is not boot camp when the leader of boot camp Clik is
Yeah.
Buckshot.
All
He's the
right, so you
front
can't.
man.
So,
That's like saying,
I'm saying
yo,
grave
yeah,
diggers. That's like saying grave
Riz is the
diggers.
known leader. Riz is the known
Yeah,
leader
and
of
he was in
Wu-Tang
grave
Clan.
diggers. And he
Buckshot
was
is
in
the
grave
known
diggers.
leader. All right, but Buckshot is the known leader of Black Moon.
And
You know
Riz
what I'm
is the known
saying?
leader of Wu-Tang, but you don't hear me
And
throwing grave diggers albums
who
in
shaped
there
the
though.
sound? Who shaped the sound of Boot Camp Clik? The beat miners, right? Like you trying to say like
Okay.
that, like
But are
Mr.
they boot
Wall,
camp
and
members? Are
they're
they
not boot
boot
camp
camp though?
members because
All
dudes,
right.
the only rappers is boot camp members. Like you know what I'm saying?
But
Only rappers is boot camp
Isn't
members.
five
what's the
FT,
name? Who's the other rapper in yeah,
he's not.
5FT is in jail half the time. Like he
but he's
was,
still a rapper though.
he wasn't. I don't even. Was he even on the War Zone? Like when he came back out for the War Zone, he wasn't on Enter the Stage. Really, he got like one joint on there.
But
You know what
all
I
right,
mean?
but
It's really just
that's
a
like me.
solo album with Buck, really.
That's
You
like
know what
me
I mean?
mentioning grave diggers though, since RZA's in grave diggers.
But it don't change RZA's status in Wu-Tang. RZA's the leader of Wu-Tang. He's the founder and he's the leader. Buckshot is the leader
But
of
that's
Boot
not a
Camp Clik. You know what I'm
Black Moon's
saying?
not a
Like,
boot camp album though. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's
nah,
what I'm
I
saying.
would
It's not a boot camp album.
I don't think there's many people that would agree with you on that.
You
Like,
think Black
you know what
It's
Moon
I'm
not a
saying?
boot camp album.
Wu-Tang album? That's what you were saying?
Like, here's the thing, right? I'm sorry, P. What'd you say?
You think
Yo,
Black Moon album is touching the Wu-Tang album, the first one?
he said he putting Enter the Stage up
I'm putting it to
versus
the
Enter
stage
the 36
parallel. Yeah,
Chamber.
I both think they're both on the same level.
You
And
tripping.
As
and honestly, like tomorrow, if y'all got to go put them back to back and
what?
maybe give
I'm
some
not
more
putting them back to
respect.
back because I listened to both of them, and I'm
Nah, I'm
just
telling you, like, yo, it's you making it seem like these brothers from Wu-Tang shot out the rocket and left these brothers in the dust. Nah, Black Moon
they
is a
did.
fine album. Nah, Black Moon is a fine
Remember?
album. Enter the Stage is
Yo,
a
OKC
that's
lost.
did they?
I'm seeing text messages that they lost.
Check the score real quick. I'll check it out.
I know they.
I don't think Enter the Stage is fucking with them. Maybe
It's not,
Yo,
but
maybe
like,
it's cool though.
maybe
I don't think The Last Stand is better than Iron Flag. I'm gonna keep it real.
or the
Oh yeah, Halliburton. Yeah. They 15-point comeback. They lost. OKC
wow, that's
lost.
crazy. That's crazy.
Um,
Guess the Knicks lost for a reason. Pacers is that good, I
nah,
guess.
they're well put together. They play for 4 quarters, man. 48 minutes. Them dudes play basketball. 48 minutes, man. They never out the game. You gotta like stomp them out.
That's
But
crazy. Stole home court too.
yeah. What I was gonna say, because we talking about Wu Forever. I ain't even going. We could do that for another episode. Put boot camp up again, because I know you've been waiting to do that, and
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think it's gonna work out. I don't think it's gonna work out for you, really,
I
bro. I
mean,
don't think because Wu Tang is too deep of a.
in Buckshot.
It's too much. It's too much of them. It's too many.
What MC
Buck,
compares to Wu-Tang?
Buckshot got solo joints that's
Yeah,
like
but you said
better
no.
than some of the Wu releases. Like
Yo, you said
Maybe
Buckshot's
chemistry.
recent music wasn't dope. You said you heard it
I agree.
and it
I'm
was
being
horrible.
yeah.
And it
Well,
was
I don't want to say
horrible.
I heard an album recently from a few years ago. It was terrible. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that doesn't
And you like the
discredit.
RZA's last joint with Scratch, right? You like
I
that,
did.
right?
I like
Yeah,
that
that's
joint.
all right. All right. So
I
that's all I'm
did.
saying, man. I know you did. I know you did because we spoke
I did
about it.
like it. I
I know
did
you
like it
did.
very much.
And,
I thought it was
and
very good.
RZA's in a
And
quiet taste, no bam. It's either you like him or you think he's whack. Like
but
it's no in between. It's no
I'll
in
tell you
between.
like this:
now.
Smith and Wesson,
He's
Wesson's last few albums
it's
are
good.
better than most of the like
It's not better
Wu-Tang
than Shaolin
releases.
versus Wu-Tang. It's not better
That's
than Shaolin
old.
versus
That's
Wu-Tang.
old already, yo. That's old
It's not
already.
old. It's in the
That's
past.
old.
It's in the past 10 years.
What's the
What do you mean that's
what's the
old?
album before
What's the last?
what's the album before Set the Tone from Ghostface?
Ghostface Killers.
I like that album.
Yeah.
That's just
His joint with 12 Reasons to Die is better than them Smith and Wesson joints.
that is true.
Ghostface 12 Reason to Die with Adrian Young and
Yeah,
Apollo Brown
That is true.
right,
is
yeah,
better
no,
than them
those are
Smith and
solid.
Wesson joints.
I like those drinks. I like those drinks.
What MC is fucking with fucking Buckshot, yo, from the Wu-Tang? Like, who is he fucking with over there? The RZA? That's the only one I could fake compare him to, and I might give him to the RZA.
He ain't better than Jizza, and Jizza don't even do music. He's touring. He's still touring Liquid Swords.
I ain't never heard nobody say that dudes from the Wu-Tang was one of the nicest rappers in New York.
Meth?
Buckshot in the 90s,
Cause
dudes
nobody.
saying Buckshot was saying he was one of the nicest MCs coming out of New York, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ever said that about anybody in Wu-Tang. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I
Meth is
don't think
better than
so.
Buckshot. Meth is
He
better
is
than
better.
Buckshot.
He is better than Buckshot. He is then, now. Method Man has never lost a step. I think, in fact, he's gotten better
Yeah,
somehow. I'm gonna be real
I
with you.
think
I think,
the only
yeah, I think he's gotten
person
better.
the only person that's could hold their own now would have been
Rockness,
Sean Price.
Rockness too. Rockness still putting out solid music too.
Rock,
Rockness still putting out
Rock could
solid
rap,
music
but I don't
too.
want to hear what Rock talking about though. Oh
Indeed, he
yeah,
is.
I like Rusty. I like Rusty.
Indeed, he is.
Not all of it, but I like Rusty.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you,
Who else? Who
Rocks.
else? Everybody else retired. The Ring don't rap.
Right, OGC. I don't think putting
Oh,
out no
there's no more
music.
OGC.
I mean, they
The
haven't released an album
Representatives.
in 25 years. You know what I'm
The
saying? I don't
Representatives.
even know what's up with Supreme, Little Rock. You know, I really all of the affiliates. You know, Manslaughter, Doc Holliday. And I don't know what any of these guys are doing. You know
And
what I
don't
mean?
get me
But
wrong, all them dudes is nice. Like I like MFC. Those are my guys, but I
hmm
just don't think that the Wu brought a different kind of they brought a different kind of dynamic to hip hop, man. And then they went worldwide. They went international
yeah, but
quick.
yo, but boot camp is international too. Don't get you. You know them brothers is
Yeah,
touring
yeah,
worldwide.
yeah, yeah.
They heavy touring. Just they, I'm telling you, I'm sure these brothers have crossed paths on tours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, like they have a strong fan base too. Maybe
Like,
they never received like the sales that Wu-Tang had. Wu-Tang definitely crossed over to a different market. Like they like, but they're like, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain it. Like their sales show that they made it, right? They've outsold Boot Camp like every release, but like my thing is like Boot Camp is still like they're the only ones you could even put in that type of stratosphere. Like no one in hip hop, right? Like I know some would say, oh, you could put Ultramagnetic or you know,
no,
Juice
no, no, no,
Crew.
no, 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 no,
There's
no, no,
different
no, no.
groups of MCs or different
Nah,
crews that
that's
you
the
could
only
put.
group comparable to them.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the
Like,
only.
you
Yeah,
know, I'm not
nah,
saying
nah, nah.
that Boot Camp is maybe as great as Wu-Tang. I think to me, I love them both equally. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a little bit biased towards Boot Camp because I don't
You
know.
are,
To me, like
because you from Brooklyn.
it's that, but and also like I just feel the way them brothers came out with the Tims, the way they were. Like I just like their energy, man. Like you know what I'm saying. I love their energy. You know what I mean. And I feel the same way about Boot Camp, Wu-Tang, but I don't know what it is, man. Like Black Moon, Steel and Tech from Cocoa Brothers, Smith and Wesson, like them albums really spoke to me. I don't know if it's a Brooklyn thing or whatever, but
It
it
is.
was it spoke to me, you know what I mean?
It is a
Like they
Brooklyn
had me
thing.
wearing Timbs in the summer, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, but Wu-Tang Forever, like let's talk about some of the like I think the first week, I think it sold 400,000,
Hmm.
something like that. But I don't know if that does that mean that they sold 200 and they double it up because it's a double? I think that's how they be doing it.
I don't know.
Or did they sell 400,000 and I think it doubles to eight and change. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know. I don't know how
Because they
that
double
works,
that. You
but
know that, right? That's how they be doing the double. They'll double whatever you sell. It's double because it's two discs. You know what I mean?
that's
That's how
crazy.
they.
I didn't even
That's
know
how.
that.
Yeah, it's always been like that. So that's why when you saw Tupac's numbers and you like, wow, like
Oh,
bro had
and
a
Biggie,
wild,
yeah.
right? Biggie with the Life After Death. Any of those albums they looked inflated the sales because they counted twice. That's what it is.
I
Um,
feel they should have had more videos for Wu-Tang Forever.
what was the second video after
It's
Triumph?
yours. It's
It's
yours.
yours, right? And I don't even know if that was the right choice to
And then it was it's yours and slash older guards. Because
I don't think that was the.
remember it cut to
Hmm.
Ghost in the car with Ray. They driving in the
Hmm.
Benz and like right
Hmm.
before Ghost verse on It's Yours comes in, they switch to older guards and
Right, yeah.
that's how I go. I don't know. I think around that time, nice. I think a better tomorrow could have had a video. I think Little Ghetto Boys might have, but man, I don't
Little
know.
Ghetto Boys would have been fire.
Maybe yeah, maybe that wouldn't have translated. Maybe MGM could have been a single because they talking
Yeah.
about being at the fight. Maybe they could have,
Hmm.
put that together, like them
Yeah, they
being
could
at a
have put that
fight.
together like at a Mike Tyson type of joint or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like, um, nah, but that's my album. I just remember being 15 and like arguing with dudes like Wu-Tang is the best, arguing in school with dudes, and these same dudes I used to argue with, you know, over almost 30 years ago. Now you see them and they giving props to Wu, like rocking
Mm,
with Ghosts and like, posting songs on their
right.
IGs or whatever. The commercial stuff, of course, the so-called commercial stuff.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But nah, it's an incredible album, man. And I got like countless. I don't even have a favorite song on it. I just like just be one minute. Like when you said today you didn't like Deadly Melody, I was I was listening to Deadly Melody like just
Yeah.
like an hour ago before we got
Yeah.
on. I was listening to. I was like, what else? So maybe you only like the beat. Maybe it's probably the beat, but
Yeah.
they was rhyming on there.
No,
They
I
was
think the
rhyming
beat the
on there.
beat is what turned me off to it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, probably.
To me, my favorite joint is Hell's Windstaff. I'm not saying that's the best joint, but
That's
Hell's
a fire
Windstaff,
song.
they was wilding on that. I do like It's Yours, but I don't think it's the right single choice to follow up
Yeah,
off of Triumph. Um,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? What is it, For Heaven's Sake?
Heaven
Is that
Sake
the
is
other
fire.
fire?
I like Cash Rules Scary Hours too.
Yeah, that joint
That's
is
my joint. That's my joint. I really like that album. And you know what? A lot of people like talk crazy about like after that they kind of like fell off
hmm
collectively. But I like the W. The
Yeah, I like
W
the
got some
W. I
joints
thought
on
I
there.
thought Iron Flag was good too.
I
Iron
like
Flag
Iron
was
Flag
solid.
too.
Iron Flag
I
was
didn't like
solid.
Eight Diagrams was kind of like
Nah, E diagrams. I
uh,
couldn't do it.
I didn't like the song that they got with Erica Badu, The Heart Gently Weeps. I don't know if
Is that the
RZA
joint where they
couldn't
had like
clear
a
the.
RZA sample, like a Beatles sample?
Yeah, I
It
like
was
that song, but I don't think he cleared the Beatles sample, so he used a live band instead. Because
because
I
that was
heard the
like a big,
original song.
yeah. That they were talking about that a lot. That they had the Beatles sample on there, like
Yeah, it
because
was
I
that
think it.
song. It was that song.
I think they approved of it. Like the estate approved of it, and I don't know what went wrong or whatever.
It
But
might have been too late.
I remember that being like a big thing that it was supposed to be cleared. Um,
Yeah. That
and it
and
was
what's
like
funny is Ghost
nobody in
used
hip
that
hop had
same
ever
sample.
nobody in ever hip hop had ever like used like got authorized to use like a something
A Beatle,
like
right,
a Beatles sound, you know what I mean?
right. Yeah, it was that
Um,
song.
Shout out to Fourth Disciple and True Master for also co-producing on the
Oh
album.
yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if you could clarify or add on, but like I saw Inspector Deck listed as like a co-producer on
Yes,
quite a
he
few
did
joints.
Visions. He did
Yeah.
Visions. He did
He's credited with a few joints on here. I don't know if it's
yeah,
accurate, but
yeah.
like
Yeah,
there's
no,
about
no, it
six,
is. It
seven
is.
joints where it
What's
shows
crazy
RZA and
is
Inspector Deck
what's
on it.
crazy, I know for a fact he did Visions. I know for a fact he did that. But I was listening to a Deck interview and he was talking about the RZA's Flood. And
Mm,
like he was talking about how he had to put his album together quick. So
mm,
he forced himself to make beats. He taught himself how to make beats, and that's how it started. And that's how he got on Wu-Tang Forever
mm,
with beats.
mm,
Because RZA was, they said a lot of people were saying like Wu-Tang Forever burnt them out because they locked in and they were so dedicated with like being at the studio and like really going hard putting the album together. So like that's where you have Lord Superb coming out saying he wrote Supreme Clientele and Summer
mm.
Bulletproof Wallets and all of that because Ghost was burnt out. They was burnt out from, you know,
Well,
um
look at the run. Look at this all the yo, like you could
yeah,
knock away the whole solo collection. Or there's so much collabs between all of them on those records. Like Raekwon could have easily been a Wu-Tang album. It could have been you know what I'm saying? Like Ghost probably could have been a Wu-Tang album. There's a lot of collabs on these
right, right,
albums. You know what I
right, right,
mean?
right,
Like, and who
right.
knows what was meant for what? I mean, some of
Right.
these joints could
Probably
have been
had
left
some
off, or you know what I
throwaways,
mean?
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick that up. We ain't finished it. I'm gonna pick that up and throw it on
Yeah.
my
Which
joint.
awards could have been on a
That
Wu-Tang album.
that could have
And
been
what's
a
crazy, it's funny you say that too,
could have
because
been a big record for if it was listed as a
right,
Wu-Tang
right,
release.
instead of a Ghostface song. Yo,
Yeah.
what's crazy is on Iron Man, Assassination Day is on Iron Man, but Ghost isn't on the song at all.
Right. So there you go. That's
You know what I'm
come
saying?
on.
And I'm
How
like,
is
you're
that
like,
supposed to be a Ghost
I'm
record?
like,
He
why?
ain't
I'm
even
like,
on it.
and I never understood like why he's not on the
I
song.
like that joint too.
I love that. And I love the usual
The
suspects.
beat is crazy. Too on
Yeah, the usual
Assassination.
suspects skit
RZA was
that they,
wilding on that shit.
yeah, he wilded on that, and they use that.
RZA was wilding.
Yeah, they use that beat on the Wu Tang Hulu series where he told Go, he
Mm,
was like, "Yo, listen to this," and Ghost was it plays the beat, it plays
right.
the
Yeah,
sample,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, "Yo, that's crazy." He was like, "Yeah, I
I didn't
need
even
that." I'm
finish the
like, "But
series. I gotta go back and see the third season.
oh, it's crazy."
Um, but I thought it was so well put together, man, and it kind of it definitely brings you back to that time and era. It just kind of
Right,
like makes you think about your childhood when you watching it because you like, yo, I remember the feeling of hearing these records, even
right.
even before Wu-Tang with the Prince Rakim and the
And the
Genius and all of that,
genius,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
hearing
yeah.
all of that and seeing the transformation, like you know what I mean, what ultimately became Wu-Tang. Um, it's incredible. I mean, honestly, it really is. It's a I don't think we'll ever see anything like Wu-Tang Clan. I don't think there'll ever be anything like it in hip hop ever again. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like, brothers coming from like see like Wu came out as the body and then broke off solo. And then Boot Camp is kind of like the opposite. They came solo acts and then they formed the
Came
body. You
together.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think we'll ever see like I don't think we'll see ever any type of situation where
But
anything like either one of them. But
what's so unique about Wu Tang is like RZA took two projects that were at war that have a long standing beef that's not even too far away from each other. Park Hill and Stapleton projects in Staten Island. He took two. He took brothers from two beefing projects along with his cousins and formed a group and kind of like mended the issue between the projects.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
fire.
so you know that like that's dope. I mean, I've heard other like so-called affiliates, former affiliates, and like voice their opinion or whatever. But for the most part, that's what it was. Like he mended the project beef, and I'm sure there was still stuff going on behind the scenes because you know one of you God's sons, the one that's actually in second generation Wu, had got shot, and the person that did it, or the person that has something to do with it, or was a part of the shootout, was Ghostface's man.
Now
You
that's
know
when
what
he
I'm
was a
saying?
baby though, right? Like,
Yeah, that's when he was a baby. Yeah,
right.
his homegirl was babysitting and pushing him in the
Mm.
stroller, and the dude, there was a shootout, and the dude took him out of the stroller and used him as a shield, and he ended up getting shot. And they said he died twice, and they had to resuscitate him. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And he's fine now. Like, dude is a rapper, he's doing this thing. He's the second generation Wu. And they, him, Meth son, and a couple of, I think, Master Killer's son, Meth
Surprised
daughter,
Meth daughter
a
Shay ain't on
couple of
that
them
too. You know what I
on
mean?
what? She's a part of it.
She's a part of second generation
She's
Wu
about, yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah. She just started performing with them. They be having their own little showcases,
Right.
shows and
With
stuff.
Dirty
They be doing
Son
it.
too.
Yeah, Dirty Son, not young Dirty Bastard, the other
Right, right,
son,
right,
Weather
right,
Park.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
Weather Park. He be
Right.
doing this thing. Master Killer's
Cause
son, Pyro,
Young Dirty be performing with Wu, right? He
with
be
the
doing
clan.
the
Right,
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 he be
right,
doing the
right.
verses for Old Dirty, which is genius. It's rightful. It's his rightful,
What
Um
I think is dope. What I think is dope about them. Not to cut you off. What I think is dope. Like I listened because I haven't heard Second Generation Wu's album that they put out. I'm probably gonna listen to it. I just be so consumed with a bunch of other stuff. I forget to listen.
fatherhood,
But
manhood.
yeah. But but I heard an interview with Intel, that's Yuga's son,
Hmm.
and he was talking about like putting how they put it together. Him and Meph's son are first cousins because their mothers are sisters, right? So is of course he's going to get his cousin, but then he started seeking out other members' children. He said it doesn't even matter if whether you rap, you sing, you into fashion, you into accounting, you into whatever. Like you listen to old Wu joints. Wu rolled together as one. I call my brother son because he shine like one. My seeds go with his seeds, marry his seeds. That's
Hmm.
how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. And their children are actually doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because there's so many of them. Each of them got like two, three kids. Dirty got
right,
a bunch of kids. Meth
right,
got like four.
right.
Ghost got like four.
It could
Like
easily be over 30 kids, like,
right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
And then like the Brooklyn members, like they cause RZA is related to Jizza and Dirty, and then they
Right,
cousins like got a whole bunch. They got a whole different joint, like Papa
right,
Wu's kids, cause Papa Wu's related to RZA, Dirty, and Jizza. So
right.
their kids is in it, and they
Because
just it's
Papa
like a
Wu's kids is
whole
what, free murder?
free
And
murder, chakrons, and it's somebody else that's his son, but he don't rap. But he's a part
right.
like, and then they kids and like nephews and all of that. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy. Like
Wu-Tang
their
really
thing
is
is
forever. That's
yeah, nah,
basically
it's
what it is.
crazy. It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it
crazy. And
really is forever.
just from naming this album Wu-Tang Forever, it became a slogan. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You see
Yeah,
people with like during the voting, presidents are temporary, but Wu-Tang is
yeah,
forever.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
they made like a real like statement with that, with naming the album that,
It
and it's
it is
28 years later.
it's the most it's the most iconic brand or name probably in hip hop. I was, not to be biased, I would say Zulu will be, obviously just in the same
Yeah,
light or whatever.
yeah, yeah. But that's the origin of hip hop, so
Right,
they
it's the
you
origin.
gotta, yeah.
But like, it's right there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The Wu-Tang Phoenix, the Zulu Nation Wisdom Face, those two
Hmm.
iconic hip hop
Absolutely.
logos. And family to a degree also. There's a lot of connection between that. Um, but man, it's an incredible. I don't think we'll ever see anything like Wu-Tang, and I really wish like a major success to the Seeds that's doing second generation Wu. I hope they keep their foot on the gas. because if the talent is in the blood, then they're bound for success. You know what I mean? And I know the sound is different, but they're from a different era, a different
Right.
wave. So of course it's gonna represent their era. They're not gonna rhyme to appease like, us old heads that stuck
Hmm.
in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna have a different sound as it should. You know what I mean? Keep it original. And it really could live forever, man. They're the heirs to the throne. So it's only right that they continue. But yeah, man. 28 years Wu-Tang Clan. Um, while we're on here, I wanted to mention it on its own episode, but I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Dre. A couple of weeks ago, I think they had reopened up Compton High School. I think Dr. Dre put in $10 million to like advanced the school with new programs, new equipment. They rebuilt the school. So that was a big investment into his community, right? We talk about um hip hop people not making a difference or making a change. I think, it's pretty admirable to donate $10 million to the community that you're from to upgrade the high school. I think it's putting a lot of opportunities for younger people to flourish. And like we always, I'm sure like all of our listeners, we could say like we all went to schools that were outdated. The textbooks were ancient, the desks were ancient, schools run down, budget cuts and all of that. So for somebody to put 10 million, man, that's very beautiful. And I hope that the youth that go to that school could stay focused on their studies and use that as an advantage to elevate themselves to go far and beyond what they were originally aiming for. So shout out to Dr. Dre on that. Um
Definitely.
uh briefly, I just want to say something about the whole um not to continue with Diddy, but for those that know, like on the Mason Cam show, they had that dude, the so-called Punisher on there, and I thought it was corny. I thought it was a little funny at first, but then I was like, you got to look at it and think that that's probably triggering to some of the survivors and some of the people that may have had experiences with the Punisher. So I think, like,
That's a
honestly, like
crazy
Cam,
name.
yeah, yeah, it's a crazy name.
Only Punisher I know is Chris
Right,
Rios and Frank Castle.
right, for real, for real. I wouldn't even call no other man Punisher. Real shit. Like, I think it's kind of funny style to even address
Yeah,
another man as the Punisher. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I thought it was kind of whack, and I'm a big fan of Cam, like as a like hip hop comedian type. I think he's super funny. The brother be having me laughing whenever I see him, but I think that was kind of whack, man. You know,
Yeah.
we gotta have like a little bit more like I don't know what's the word, like just a little bit more like care and thought into what we um what we put out as content. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's
Um,
your way of you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't think it was no need to interview that
but
man.
yeah, but this is the same guy that got interviewed, what was it, 2020? And he said if they asked him if a serial killer was next door to you, what would you do? Would you call the police? He said he would move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he drew so like I don't expect him to have any type of decorum or any type of I mean, I don't like Cam too, but I don't expect
Excuse me.
much. When I hear certain things from him and Mace, I'm not shocked. I expect it because this is who they've always been
Right.
since,
They're not known to
since
be like
no, they're
brothers
not.
that thought provoking or like,
Right, right.
you know what
I mean,
I'm
they
saying?
might drop something here and there. He's like, yeah, I'm feeling that, like, but
Mhm.
it's more jokes than anything. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's more jokes than anything. But yo, not to get off. Well, back on topic. When RZA said, um, you don't even gotta go to school, just pick up the Wu-Tang double CD and you'll get all the education this year. Now, I mean, how'd you feel? Did you want to drop out after that? After you heard
Um,
that?
well, I'll be honest.
I wasn't going to school
That
no way, but
that particular year was the only year that I didn't go to summer school, and I was like, I'm glad that I didn't hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably would have dropped out.
because you
It
would
was influential. It definitely made me think
have.
like, nah, maybe I don't need school. This shit is whack because I'm not learning nothing. I don't appreciate it. But yo, that was the one year because I did so bad my freshman year. 96. I did so bad I got half a credit for ceramics. That was the only
Oh
class
man,
I passed. So I went to summer school, right? I did whatever I could in summer school 96. And then 97 I had to repeat all them joints from the ninth grade, plus try to grab a couple 10th grade joints. So I was forced to like, yeah, I knew in my mind if I didn't do nothing with school, like if I was gonna fail ninth and 10th grade, then that said I was gonna drop
it
out.
was over. It was
Yeah, like
over.
you can't come back from back-to-back failures. You know what I'm saying? So then 11th grade, I went back, reverted to my old self. So, but hearing that, it was definitely like it was something that stood out on the album because in my mind at that time, I was looking at Wu-Tang like they were kind of talking something different, and I was going listening to them for the jewels and also trying to decipher what I didn't know, like the 5% lingo that I wasn't in tune with as a youth. I was trying to decipher all of that, like why these brothers is all calling each other God. What's the culture cipher when I'm listening to, you know what I'm saying? When he said, I just came right
36
from the corner
chambers.
store
Yeah.
and got my culture cipher, God. Like, I ain't,
Yeah.
he talking about a 40-ounce beer. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right,
I didn't
right,
know
right,
that off the rip, you know what I'm saying? But you have to start to, do the so-called do the knowledge and become in
right.
tune with that type of, with the culture or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? It was dope. I thought it was dope, and it definitely spoke to me.
But you listen now, like we were like 15. Well, I was 15
Hmm.
in 97. Um, 36 Enter the 36 Chambers came out in 93. I was 11. Um, you listen now, they wasn't really like rapping about the so-called lessons.
Hmm.
If you listen, they would throw like slang mixed with 5% lingo and
Hmm.
like dress it up with street stuff. And that's what made it alluring. You know what I'm saying? But they really wasn't like certain people would drop a so-called jewel here and there, but it wasn't really from the lessons. It was like just like I said, the lingo
Right.
mixed with other stuff. It
Right.
wasn't
Yeah.
really like the 120. They might talk about it in a skit or something, but it
Right.
wasn't
They
really
reference things, but they don't. They're not doing the knowledge or dropping
right. It,
the
it wasn't like
jewels on
King's
there.
Son or Poor Righteous Teachers.
Certainly
Like
not. Yeah.
even
Certainly
even
not. Wise
even like
intelligent.
right,
Wise
right, right.
intelligent
They
was
because they
break.
was
Yeah. He was
really
really. They was really.
even Rakim and Kane and all of them. They wasn't really like implementing not implementing. They wasn't rapping the lessons in the
Right.
music. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It wasn't like that. You just thought you knew they
Maybe
were five
Rakim did it on
percenters.
the R, maybe a little bit. So I think he might
Yeah,
have
I'm
did
talking
it
about
on the
early
R.
though. I'm talking about
Right. You
early
talking
though.
about Eric B and
Yeah,
Rakim.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. The
You know what I'm
18th
saying?
letter, yeah, the 18th letter he did.
A
18th
little
letter
bit.
he
There's a
did.
couple joints on there where he was
Yeah,
going in.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
But
yeah, no, but
but
you're
Wu
absolutely right.
wasn't really.
They weren't really representing the 5% nation of
Nah,
gods of earth, like quoting lessons or nothing. It was just a
no, no,
lingo.
no,
It
no.
was just a lingo.
Like
Which
a
I
Better
think,
Tomorrow might have been their most conscious song on that
mhm,
album,
yeah,
but
definitely.
it wasn't no lessons in it though.
Right, right, right. It was
It
just
wasn't no
jewels,
lessons
just
in it
in
though.
general.
You're right, right. Just telling you what you should and
Hmm.
shouldn't do. Like you can't party your life away, drink your life away, smoke your life away,
Yeah,
F
yeah.
your
And that
life
was
away.
heavy.
Yeah,
That was an
yeah,
incredible message.
yeah. Because your
And I
seeds
think
grow up the same way. That's
yeah,
a
it was an
fire.
incredible message, and I think well, let's say us in particular, right? When you hear
Impossible
that,
too.
right, that
Impossible
too.
too.
When you 17 and you 15 years old, like we were, those are very impressionable years. So you got to think, right? The fan base that was around our age in the mid to late teenage years, young adult years, right? That definitely is influential to hear that. Because right, what are we doing at that time? We're going to house parties, we're going to hooky parties. We
Mm-hmm.
we not going to school. We can care less about
Word.
school. But
Word.
here comes like your favorite artist telling you, this is what you should do. It's dope. It's influential, man. And peace to Wu-Tang for putting that out together. Cause like nowadays, I don't think there's nothing really like in comparison. Like people ain't really dropping nothing positive
No.
or
They're telling
striving to
you to
push
stay
you.
on dope.
Yeah, like now it's like everything is telling you to be a hitter, get back, spin the block.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Be on
Spin,
drugs or telling the
yeah, be
females
on
to
drugs.
F them and get some money.
Yeah,
F them get some money.
yeah,
F Negro free and all of that. Hot girl summer. All of the wild stuff. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's crazy. I
At
never
least they
thought,
appeared to care about the Bay. At least Wu Tang appeared to care. Not saying
right.
they really did. I don't know because I don't know them personally. I met a few of them over my life. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I met Ray, Ghost, Meth, um, who else? Dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I met Dirty, I'm not gonna lie. Like he seemed like he really cared about the children though. Because I was a
That's what's
kid when I
up.
met Dirty. I might have been like 13, 14 years old when I
Mm-hmm.
met Dirty, and he definitely appeared to care about not only his own children but the children in general. Because
Mm-hmm.
he stressed like the children really are like the predecessor. You know what I'm saying? I mean the successor to the predecessor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you gotta like teach them right, regardless of how his character was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I met him in real life, and he actually spoke to us when I used to sing, and we saw him backstage, and he really took the time out. He could have just said, "Yo, what up?"
Mm-hmm.
and walked past, or he didn't have to say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He could have walked by, then just like, who these little? I mean, Ghostface did that to us at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Like he saw us
Right.
back in the green room, and he asked Ray like, "Yo, who all these little niggas in the green room?"
Mm-hmm.
and kept it moving. But Dirty
Right.
actually took the time out to like, "Yo, who y'all here with?" And we like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, we performing with Coolio," and he like, "Oh, word." Like, "Yo, Coolio, my man." Like, he didn't say that. He used foul language, of course, but he was like, "Yo,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm the like what he said, like, I don't subscribe to this, but he said, I'm y'all the young guards. I'm the older
Mm-hmm.
guard." And he was like, "It's my duty and responsibility to teach y'all and protect y'all." He said that's his duty and responsibility. He ain't have to say that to a
Yeah.
bunch of
No,
kids
that's
he
dope.
ain't know. You
That's
know what I'm
dope.
saying?
That's dope. And
And
that
and
goes a
just
long
like
way.
right.
That
And
goes
and
a
just
long
like
way.
fast forward to that, when he was on the run, he saved kids from a burning car.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then dipped.
Right.
He saved a girl,
It's
the
like a
two, I think
burning
it was two
car.
kids. I think,
I
yeah, it
think
was,
he lifted a car off a baby too that was
yeah,
pinned
yeah.
underneath the
Not
car
that
or
was that.
something
That
like.
was that. The car was flipped
Right.
over, and there was kids, and the
Yeah.
car was on fire. And
Whoa.
he took the kids, got them up out of there, made
Yeah.
sure they was good, and then he bounced because he was on the
Whoa.
run. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
like
Nah, it's
that's a
incredible.
commendable act. That's a commendable
Yeah, it
act.
certainly is.
Act of selfless act.
And I
You
think
know what I mean?
more people should be like that, like in hip hop, famous people, athletes, like take your time out to the young ones because they're so impressionable and they see y'all in this light. And if you just take a moment out of your time to like drop some jewels or say something positive or encourage them, empower them, like that could go a long way for someone that's lost or needs it, or you know what I mean? Just giving that love to some people don't even get love. Like we assume
Right.
that everybody's always good, but we don't know like what young people are dealing with. They might have parents that are not giving them jewels, giving them love. You know what I'm saying? So if you someone that they look up to, like take that time out with the young ones and nurture them, give them a little something. And for those that are influential in our communities, then it's really same thing for you. I always did my best with the young, even the young, not even the kids that were not Zulu. Like if I saw you respectful, I was always taking time out to like drop jewels on you, give you a gem here, encourage you here, or when you were wilding out, I would like do my best to try to tell you something to, get on a straight path. because I knew like when people certain youth looked at me, they knew like I was the Zulu King or the chapter leader or whatever. So it was a little bit of respect or whatever admiration based on that. So I knew it was my responsibility to lead to the highest of my ability. You know what I'm saying? And I had to move a certain way as a leader, and I had to talk a certain way, and also act upon it, not just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I had to show them the action. This is how you do it. You know what I mean? So I hope that people were pleased with my interactions, like and the way I led as far as the Zulu goes. People in my community, I strive to keep it tall at all times. You know.
More. Real quick before we get up out of here, 3 joints from the album. Your faves.
Heaven's sake, Hell's Windstaff, and I guess I have to say Triumph. You know what I mean? My three
Yeah,
favorites.
no, Triumph's an
It's one of
incredible
the best
song.
posse cuts in hip hop history. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can't even
yeah,
like
yeah.
the video, the song, the beat, the lyrics. Nobody. It's a flawless song. You know, it's a flawless
Uh,
song.
my three is Deadly Melody, Black
Mm.
Shampoo, and As High as Wu-Tang Gets.
Oh man, Black Shampoo. I don't like that joint.
It's like I'm joking, I'm joking. I just did that because you said you ain't like them.
You fucking with me. So like,
Nah,
yo, you trying to
nah,
trigger me?
but nah. My favorite three. Yo, man, I don't know. It varies all the time because I love the album. I think the album is flawless to
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
all the songs, but I think those Winstaff, um, probably Cash Rules and Bells of War. I really like
Bells of
Bells
War
of
is fire.
War. I
Bells
really
of War
like
is
Bells
fire.
of War. That's my joint. I think
Solid.
Golden Arms came off on that.
Hmm.
I think he
Yeah.
came off on that. You know what I'm saying? And people
There's
don't
not a
give
lot of
him
bad joints
his
on the
credits.
album.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
few that you know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
you literally we could go and grab three songs. All of them is incredible. You know what I'm
MGM is
saying?
runner up though.
Yeah, it's fire.
MGM is runner up,
It's
and
fire.
Heaters too. Heaters is
Heaters
fire
is
too.
dope.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, man.
what before we go, I see your shirt. It says "Stop being racist." Have you worn that
Oh,
outside? Have you gotten like
I wore
anybody
it all
like
day today.
any interaction, like people like commenting on it or just
Um,
looking at
well,
you?
it's not my first time wearing this shirt.
Hmm.
People in fashion that's into fashion know what it is. It's shirt is from Gallery Department. Um, forgot how did you say the guy's name? Josue. I think he's from LA.
Hmm.
Black guy, black designer.
Hmm.
Um, and I've been had this shirt.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I wear it. I only had one person say something to me, a Caucasian person,
Hmm.
and they just was like, "Yo, I like your shirt." I was like, "Thank you,"
All
and that was it.
right.
I mean, people look like I
Yeah.
don't care. I wear what I want. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I wear what I want, and it's just like I said, like I told you the other day, me and my wife was watching Do the Right Thing, and everybody probably seen that movie. Like I know I've seen
Hmm.
it over countless times, and we
Right.
were just laughing at racism and prejudice, like how funny it is. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Hmm.
stereotypes people come up with, and then I was
Hmm.
discussing with some coworkers who are also my friends. We were talking about it, and we was just like, "Yo, like a certain community or a certain ethnic background would get ridiculed and bullied because of, like where they're from, how they look or whatever, or their culture, and they'll get picked on until the next group comes along, and then they're getting picked on, and then the people that was getting picked on joins in on the new people getting picked on, and you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So that like it's kind of crazy, man. It's weird. It's ignorant.
Yeah.
Race is a social construct anyway, and that's a whole
Hmm.
nother story for another episode or whatever. But as far as the t-shirt go, ain't nobody really never said anything. They might have looked, but I really don't be paying people attention when I'm out and about. I mean, I'm aware of my surroundings, but I don't like. I'm not looking like coming outside as like a billboard or a poster. I like the shirt.
Right,
I bought it.
right.
Pretty good cotton, pretty good quality.
You think
And I mean,
you think if the brother that got jumped at that bikers club Pike, you think you think if he was wearing that, they would have still washed him, or we think it would have been a different
well,
outcome?
yo, I don't even know what he was doing in there. He had
Right.
a reflective vest on, like construction reflective vest. I don't know if he
So he
stopped
might
there
have
to get
been
a
like
drink after work, or I don't
passing
know if he was
through.
working in there. Like, I don't know the content of like the video starts with them arguing. So I don't know like what happened prior to that.
Some
Like
say that he didn't pay his tab. I don't know if that's BS or not. I mean, anything's possible, right? People try
people
to
say
skip out
whatever.
on
I need
tabs.
to know. I need to
People try to
know.
justify things, you
Right.
know what I'm
I need to
saying?
know what
But
happened beforehand. I need to know what happened beforehand to say whether or not he deserved to get hands and feet put on him. Because,
yeah.
like I said, I was in the military. I was stationed in the South for a period of time. I remember I was in Pascagoula, Mississippi. That sound racist. You know what
Or
I mean? And we would go to the mall and they act like they never saw a black person before. I remember I went in the mall in Pascagoula Mall, and it was one floor. I went in Foot Locker to buy some sneakers. They looking at me like, and this is before debit. This is before debit and tap and all of that. So I'm walking around with cash, and they see me pull out the cash, and it's just like they looking at me like, "What you doing with all this money?" And like, you know what I'm saying? It's
looking
like
at you
I'm
like
like, yo,
you
let me
you
get
got it
these
from a ill
from whatever.
means,
I
right?
don't, I
Ill
don't know.
means.
Like, they just looking at me. I'm like, yo, let me get those size 11. Might have been some Jordans, might have been some Air Max or whatever. And they just looking at me like, I can't believe you in here. But two, like you in here and you're buying something. You're not trying to steal. So, and then we've been to clubs where like we've been to clubs and they be playing country music in there. And then they see us come in and they try to break out the most current hip hop record. You know what I mean? And
That's
like, nah,
crazy.
for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was a spot down there called Thunder. So whoever listening that served with me or whoever served and was stationed in Pascagoula, they know about this club called Thunders, and it's basically a country bar. And they
That's
was
funny
playing
because
like this is real like line dancing and all of that in there.
that's
Achy
funny because
breaky heart type stuff.
where me and P is from, out in Huntington, Long Island, what's it called? Thunder is a gay club, and it's very
Oh,
like
that's crazy.
is very famous. And no lie, one time, Cool Herc, they had a straight night. Cool Herc did a jam there, and Mad
That's
Zulus
crazy.
mobbed up and went to that shit. And we felt so weird going to that club, you know what I'm saying? Because we like, yo, it's one day, a month that they do a straight joint there. So just for the fact that we mobbed up and Cool Herc was on the mic shouting out Zulu Nation because he synced us or whatever, you know what I mean? We was all with the beads, medallions on.
Right,
So it
right,
was just
right.
a weird, you know what I mean, thing. Um, but they shut that spot down. Um, but yeah, man, Wu-Tang forever, man. Salute to the RZA, salute to all the Wu-Tang members, salute to Loud Records, Steve Rifkin, or everybody that had a hand in making that masterpiece come
Word.
out. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, man. Thank you from a true hip hop fan, hip hop culture, hip hop head, whatever you want to say it. Like that was an incredible piece, man. Timeless. I think it'll be bumped by true hip hop heads for generations to come. You know what I mean? Like it'll be a legit, like it's already almost 30 years. So imagine like it's like an oldie already. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Right.
like our parents were listening to Motown or classic salsa or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's oldies already basically for us. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Um, keep it tuned to Spears and Mics. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe, hit that like, man. Peace to the Zulus. Peace to all the chapters. Peace to the brothers and sisters that's keeping it tall, man. Peace to everybody that's promoting true hip hop culture. Peace to everybody that's shaping youth, spending time with youth. Shout out to the people that's healing people, helping people. You know what I mean? People that's living a positive lifestyle, man. Salute. Peace.
More peace.